The night air was crisp as I stumbled out of the local pub, the warmth of alcohol coursing through my veins. I had spent the evening catching up with old friends, sharing laughter and clinking glasses. The quaint village, usually familiar and welcoming, took on an eerie stillness as the last patrons trickled out of the pub. My home was just a short walk away, a journey I had taken countless times without a second thought. The moon hung low in the sky, casting long shadows that seemed to dance with each hesitant step. The village streets, once bustling with life, now lay deserted. As I meandered through the narrow lanes, I realized that the night had cloaked the familiar landmarks in an unfamiliar obscurity. The street lamps cast feeble pools of light, creating a labyrinth of shadows that distorted the familiar surroundings. I chuckled to myself, blaming the alcohol for my momentary disorientation. The village seemed to have transformed in the darkness, the houses leaning conspiratorially toward each other. The cobblestone streets, usually so dependable, now felt like shifting puzzle pieces, rearranging themselves with every turn. I reassured myself that I just needed to follow the main road, but as I walked, the path seemed to elongate, each step taking me farther away from the comforting glow of my own doorstep. My footsteps echoed through the empty streets, the sound reverberating eerily against the silent facades of the houses. I quickened my pace, determined to shake off the uneasy feeling that was settling in the pit of my stomach. Yet, with each turn, the village seemed to grow more labyrinthian, the streets folding in on themselves like an Escher drawing. A chill ran down my spine as I passed the same row of houses for what felt like the third time. My sense of direction, usually reliable, betrayed me in the disorienting darkness. Panic gripped me as the realization set in. I was lost in my own village. I took a deep breath, attempting to quell the rising anxiety. My rational mind insisted that I could find my way if I retraced my steps. But the more I walked, the more the village seemed to defy logic. The winding streets became a claustrophobic maze, closing in on me from all sides. I hesitated at an unfamiliar crossroad, the choices before me leading into shadowy alleyways that seemed to whisper with unseen voices. I chose a path at random, hoping it would lead me home. The silence was oppressive, broken only by the distant hooting of an owl and the distant rustle of leaves in the night breeze. As I navigated the deserted village, a sense of foreboding hung in the air. The occasional flicker of a street lamp cast fleeting glimpses of twisted, contorted shadows that played tricks on my imagination. Unsettling shapes seemed to move in the corners of my vision, disappearing when I turned to confront them. My phone, my lifeline to the world beyond the shadows, betrayed me with a lack of signal. I clenched my jaw, suppressing the rising panic, and continued my aimless journey through the labyrinthine village. The quaint charm that once defined the cobblestone streets now felt like a sinister trap, each turn leading me deeper into an unsettling unknown. A distant, guttural sound echoed through the narrow alleys, an unsettling mixture of whispers and something that resembled footsteps. I froze, straining my ears to discern the source. The oppressive silence returned, broken only by the rhythmic thud of my own heart. I picked up my pace, desperate to escape the claustrophobic maze that seemed to tighten its grip with every step. The village had become an indistinct blur of shadows, the houses looming like silent sentinels. My surroundings felt like a distorted dreamscape, a place where the rules of reality warped and twisted. A flicker of movement caught my eye, a fleeting silhouette that vanished behind a corner. My heart raced as I pursued the elusive figure, the sound of my footsteps echoing through the narrow passageways. The village seemed to conspire against me, leading me on a chase that only deepened the sense of isolation. Abruptly, the twisting streets opened up to a small clearing, a dilapidated square with an ancient fountain at its center. Moonlight filtered through the skeletal branches of gnarled trees, casting an ethereal glow on the decrepit surroundings. I hesitated, my breath catching in my throat. The fountain's waters, stagnant and murky, reflected the pale light. As I approached, a sense of dread washed over me. The ancient stone figures that adorned the fountain seemed to contort into grotesque shapes, their hollow eyes watching me with a malevolent gaze. A whisper, barely audible, emanated from the darkness that surrounded the clearing. It carried a haunting melody, a symphony of forgotten voices that seemed to resonate with the very stones beneath my feet. I strained to understand the words, but they eluded comprehension, lingering like a half-remembered nightmare. A cold gust of wind swept through the clearing, extinguishing the feeble light of the nearby street lamp. The darkness closed in and the whispering voices crescendoed into a dissonant chorus. Panic seized me and I fled from the haunted square, each step reverberating through the silent night. The labyrinthine street seemed to relent, guiding me with an uncanny familiarity. Exhausted and disoriented, I stumbled upon the familiar glow of my own doorstep. The village, once a welcoming haven, had revealed its enigmatic shadows, leaving me to wonder if the labyrinth I had traversed was merely a manifestation of my own fears. As I fumbled for my keys, the echoes of the haunting whispers lingered, a spectral reminder of the night I had become entangled in the labyrinth of shadows, the night I had gotten lost in my own village. Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed what you watched, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing for more storytelling content. If you have a wish or idea for my next video, please let me know in the comments.